Up, podcast listeners? Gary here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Empowered Radio, and thanks again for your continued support on this show. Today I was joined by Vincent Lanci, all the way from America. Vincent has quite a traumatic backstory which led him down the path that he took today. You want to stick around to the very end, as there's tons of value and tons of knowledge to be extracted from this episode. So thanks for tuning in. I am Gary Tickle, and you're listening to Empowered Radio, the podcast show for millennials and beyond to expand the thinking, enrich the spirit, and empower the mind. Today, my guest is Vincent Lanci. Vincent, you're a 3 times published author. You're a coach, a speaker, and a podcast host for a mental health break podcast and That Entrepreneur Show. And I believe you've got a third one called Writing with Authors.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're obviously a very busy guy. So I appreciate you making the time to come on here, and I'm excited to hear your story.
Gary, thank you for having the time to bring me on here. I always love connecting with you. We had a great time on my podcast, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. A little about me. I was born in New York here in the United States. Moved to Florida, which is trading the snow for palm trees pretty much. And I've been here since 2009. But what got me into what I do now is when I was 21, I was hit by a car while on foot. I woke up a week later out of a coma, where the doubts then switched to I may never walk, talk, or go to the bathroom on my own ever again. And some dark days, but I powered through the help with great support from my family and friends. I finished my finance degree, finished my MBA, spoke at my MBA graduation, and realized that's not what I wanted anymore, the corporate life. So I scaled back. We wrote my first book, Left for Dead, which is a story about my life, introducing the world to my character, and through the hospital, the dark days where my mother had a journal with all the ridiculous things I said and did on a traumatic brain injury from the accident. It was dark times, but my story can help others, so I shared it in that book. And then I wrote my ebook during the pandemic called How to Transform Your Mindset When the Norm Has Changed, a guide for working remote. As an entrepreneur, I do that. I'm alone all the time, so I wanted to try to help others that way. And then number 3 is what me and Gary can agree on. Mr. Lanci Talks Mental Health. This is a great resource, 7-day tool to improve your mental health with activities, social distancing tips, and more. And I'm sure we'll talk a little more about this today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to get into that. But I'd like to sort of paint a picture of, well, you said you were from New York. So what, was it a scary move to go down the other side of the country, down into Florida? How was that for you?
It would be, but interesting enough, I've never done any winter sports on vacation with family. We always went to Florida, always went to Disney. My mother has 3 sisters here in Florida across the state, so we would visit in the winter. And I always knew I would be coming down here come college. I always had a feeling it was time. But I did not think I would be here for now 12 years or so. 2009, 2021, yeah. Crazy.
Long time.
Yeah.
Are you able to give us a rundown of the events of the day that sort of really turned your life upside down? Because that sounds like a hell of something to go through, to be honest.
Started out as any other normal day, 90 degrees or something in Florida, got a little under 80 in the 70s when I went out. First friend to turn 21, went out, got food, some drinks, and I get tired early. As you know, my schedule, Gary, I'm an early bird. I run pretty much 3 to 3 or 4 to 4 every day as my working hours. And back then I was in the gym before college classes, go out at night. Got tired around midnight, 1 o'clock. Eventually I started walking home. Didn't want to get in the car with a drunk driver. Didn't want to do anything I'd regret. Ended up walking home, and I got hit by a car after doing the right thing. And unfortunately in life, things don't come out as expected. For example, when you take an exam, you study for the exam, you expect to get an A. You go to the restaurant because you're hungry, you expect to sit down, eat, and then go home. I expected to walk home, go to bed, see my dog, and the next thing I knew, I was in a hospital, confused, not knowing what to do. When I woke up out of a coma, they said, Vincent, what school do you go to? How old are you? And I said, Pulaski Road Elementary School. So I thought I was a 5-year-old and I was a 21-year-old man studying finance. So that's how far back I went. And this is where I've been now. And then now, this book I wrote over the pandemic with my illustrator via Zoom in Houston, Texas, another city and state in the United States. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Never met her in person, but we did this in 5 months. Much shorter book, but the content is just as valuable, if not more so. This is a 7-day tool in here, 7 days or 7 chapters for you to improve your mental health every day for a week. And that's if you don't touch your mental health. Someone like us, Gary, we sit through in the afternoon. There's activities in each section, along with each expert's information, talking about different mental health topics. The next area, we have a social distancing section to apply the information right now while you're practicing social distancing, how you can improve your mental health still and not break the law. Then we have a deeper dive section that talks about the kids in your life, little brother, little sister, son or daughter, if they're going through what we talk about, how we can help them. And then, as I mentioned, there's an activity in each chapter. It is an amazing way to learn and make learning fun. And that's the feedback I've gotten, where people don't want to read out necessarily, but right now they know their mental health is a priority. So I made the material into a back pocket of your jeans type book. I have a Dalai Lama speaker as one of the experts in here, all the way to doctors in the hospital, to the author in this book, the illustrator, excuse me. Practicing creativity is very good for your mental health. Being grateful for things, those are some things she talks about. It's really everything from yoga, meditation, to my chapter talking about taking mental health breaks each day, taking one mental health day each week. Even if you don't want to rest, you do, you come back way sharper, and getting rest each day. I get at least 6 to 8 hours every night, and I need that. Some days if I can squeak in a 20-minute nap or something light to get more energy. So strategic searches, I took chances and I reached out to the top mental health influencers in the country, Googled it, got hit back by some, the numbers game. If they say no, so what? It is a lesson learned. You practice for the next time, know what worked, what didn't. I had a Dalai Lama speaker as the first ever guest on the Mental Health Break, transition to her introducing me to this illustrator, to her being in the book. So the power of networking is great. Second way you got to network is tapping into your network. Ask your friends, family, who would be a good fit for your show. Use social media, leverage social media. How me and Gary connected right here. We connected on social media. He's in Scotland, I'm in America, no problem. Get out there and make it happen. Meditation, I had unrealistic expectations forever. I thought it was a magic potion, the magic drug, and I took it for what it is now, the ability to separate my thoughts. When I do meditate, it's more for a few minutes, not an hour or anything. The gym, every morning I'm in there like clockwork, 6-7 days a week. And I want to clarify for everybody listening, exercise does not only mean lifting weights and pumping iron. You could take a walk for 15 minutes. You could do some core exercise for your abs for 15 minutes. Go running for 15 minutes. You can do anything, and those endorphins it release, you'll find that mental health benefits are more or equal to the physical health benefits when you give it a try. Something I used to do in my mornings. My morning routine has evolved, but it's always a routine. One would be leave your phone in your charger, take a 15-minute walk, turn around for 15 minutes again. Take in the birds, this natural sounds, get your mind right. Take your eye off the screen. When I'm working at least 5-10 minutes every hour, I'm taking intentional screen breaks. Go outside, just sit in my rocking chair, get some fresh air because I'm in the house all day working. Just try to stay mindful of nature because it's free. Exercise is free, unless obviously the gym membership, but you can do everything on YouTube. If you have internet connection, pick up some free techniques, save some money, and you'll see over time, you get tired at first from the exercise right away, but once you do it for a week or so, you get that energy throughout the day. And I really recommend it. It's something I credit everything I can accomplish to because it takes your mind off everything. You're escaping reality for a second. You'll enjoy it.